manipulate the votes, okay?
Right.
Not
in fact,
that
they didn't even influence votes. They've had intentions of meddling in the election.
Oh
Again,
but they didn't
why are we talking about this? This is not the issue. You're trying
Obama,
to avoid this subject.
President Obama said that Russia did not manipulate any votes. We should note that because every liberal in America said that was the case.
All right, noted.
You're doing everything you're possible not to talk about the fact that the President of the United States, the current President of the United States, just accused a former president of treason and suggested a prosecution of that former president with no evidence. That is the problem.
You can calm down. I don't think
I'm not going to calm down.
I don't think he'll be prosecuted.
Why don't you talk about that instead of talking about Obama?
Because Obama just undid 3 years of Democrat mythology.
What?
Please let's not talk about this. I don't want to talk about your distractions. The problem is, this is what Trump does. He distracts everybody. He's talking about President Obama because he doesn't want to talk about it. He's talking about the Washington Commanders and the Cleveland Guardians because he doesn't want to talk. He releases the Martin Luther King files because he doesn't want to talk. He's doing everything possible except talking about Jeffrey because he's trying to throw up distractions so that people like you, Todd, can come on TV and try to diffuse
I have tried
the
to
issue.
agree with you, and you're violently not letting me.
I'm not doing anything violently.
I've said he's not guilty of.
Yes, CNN descended into chaos like you can see here how the meltdown is going down. That is not all. The White House press secretary with Tulsi Gabbard, they sat down today where a lot of people came with questions about what is going on with Obama. When you take a look at these, what fake news CNN cut away as intelligence director Tulsi Gabbard outlined the Obama-Russia collusion scandal live on TV. I was actually shocked when I saw what they did. I don't know why CNN can acknowledge that there is a problem here. They don't even want to talk about it. They cut away. I'm going to show you the full video. But before I do, if you love what I'm doing here, please subscribe, share the video, and check if your notification is on.
Multiple intelligence community assessments released in the months leading up to the November 2016 election concluded that Russia had neither the intent nor capability to impact the outcome of the U.S. election. On December 5th.
We've been listening there to the Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, continuing on what has now been a multi-day effort, not only with public statements like this, but release of documents, to attempt to back up the quite extreme allegation that President Obama is guilty of treason and that he worked in some sort of conspiracy with Hillary Clinton, etc., in the assessment by the intelligence community at the time that Russia interfered in the 2016 election.
I believe you've seen what CNN did here. Extremely concerning, right? This reporter had this question to Tulsi Gabbard. You know, what Obama said yesterday, that, they already discovered that there was nothing like this. A question surfaced to Tulsi Gabbard about this. Libras are melting down. When I look at what they are saying here, it clearly tells me these people are panicking. Everything now they say, Trump want to deviate away from about this F issue, Jeffrey, that is what I see every day now on social media.
The Senate Intelligence Committee spent several years looking into this and unanimously agreed in a bipartisan fashion, Secretary of State Rubio was a member of that committee, that there was no political interference. There was a years-long Justice Department investigation into this as well that also concluded no political interference. So help us, from a 50,000-foot level, explain, what do you now have that refutes those two?
Sure. I will encourage you, in my role as the Director of National Intelligence, my job, again, as I said when I came into this role, was to make sure that we are telling the truth to the American people, and that we are ensuring that the intelligence community is not being politicized. So I'm not asking you to take my word for it. I'm asking you and the media to conduct honest journalism and the American people to see for yourself in the documents that we've released now, close to 200 pages, that point in multiple references, multiple examples, to include comments that have been made by senior intelligence professionals, who are some still working within these agencies today, that confirm the conclusions that we have drawn, that President Obama directed an intelligence community assessment to be created to further this contrived false narrative that ultimately led to a years-long coup to try to undermine President Trump's presidency.
And it's your belief that those two previous investigations missed that or covered it up?
I'm telling you to look at the evidence. Look at the evidence, and you will know the truth. Thank you very much. Good afternoon. At President Trump's direction and with the support and coordination with the House Intelligence Committee Chairman Rick Crawford, today we've released a declassified Oversight Majority Staff report that was produced in September of 2020. The stunning revelations that we are releasing today should be of concern to every American. This is not about Democrats or Republicans. This has to do with the integrity of our democratic republic and American voters having faith that the votes cast will count. There is irrefutable evidence that detail how President Obama and his national security team directed the creation of an intelligence community assessment that they knew was false. They knew it would promote this contrived narrative that Russia interfered in the 2016 election to help President Trump win, selling it to the American people as though it were true. It wasn't. The report that we released today shows in great detail how they carried this out. They manufactured findings from shoddy sources. They suppressed evidence and credible intelligence that disproved their false claims. They disobeyed traditional tradecraft intelligence community standards and withheld the truth from the American people. In doing so, they conspired to subvert the will of the American people who elected Donald Trump in that election in November of 2016. They worked with their partners in the media to promote this lie, ultimately to undermine the legitimacy of President Trump and launching what would be a years-long coup against him and his administration.
2.5 years. On another matter, over the past few days, Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard has unveiled shocking new evidence that former President Barack Obama and top aides in the Obama administration conspired to subvert President Trump's 2016 election victory and undermine the democratic will of the American people. While publicly pretending to engage in a peaceful transfer of power, in private, former President Obama went to great and nefarious lengths to try to sow discord among the public and sabotage his successor, President Trump. The new evidence released by the Director of National Intelligence, who is here with me today, confirms that the Obama administration manufactured politicized intelligence, which was later used as the justification for baseless smears against President Trump in an effort to try to delegitimize his victory before he even took the oath of office. The truth is that President Trump never had anything to do with Russia, and the Russia collusion hoax was a massive fraud perpetuated on the American people from the very beginning. And the worst part of this is Obama knew that truth, and so did all of the other corrupt officials involved in this scam, including former CIA Director John Brennan, former Director of National Intelligence James Clapper.
Libra reporters will always be like that. The evidence is there. All the declassified document that Tulsi Gabbard released on social media obtained by Fox News, I've seen a lot into all that. I don't want to go deep into that, going into all this. What I'm concerned is the fact that these people can't acknowledge that there is a problem. When you Tulsi Gabbard just took the mic at a White House briefing and dropped on Barack Obama irrefutable. The declassified report is out and it proves what many have suspected for years. Obama was behind the hooks. Tulsi released it all. Now from the informations we are getting, Tulsi Gabbard has referred Obama to the DOJ for criminal persecution. I want to appreciate people who support me every single day on this platform. If you notice, every single day I struggle to bring different information. Just to inform you, show you some clips happening in and around you. You might not be aware of some of these issues. But what I see every single time, some people are not appreciative with the little effort I put out. I do research every single day, reporting on different angles. When I take a decision like to follow a report on this Obama issue, it is because I realize the mainstream media is not doing so. So I will try my possible best to, bring reliable information from different sources so you can see exactly what is going on. Please always turn in, share my videos if you see notification. That is the only way the algorithm can recommend videos on this channel. I appreciate you all. This is Ransom. That is my real name. If you see short clips at the end of this video, you can end here. That is for the Y2 algorithm because they hardly recommend videos on this channel.
We represent what is best about America. Our differences are our strength. If you want to be in an authoritarian party, go be a Republican. We are not a top-down party. We're a bottom-up party. We're going to build this coalition together.
Well, what is Obama talking about?
That's one of the things that I think a lot of times boys need is not just exposure to one guy.
One dad.
One dad. No matter how good the dad is. And by the way, you need that person in your friend group so that if you then have a boy who's gay or non-binary or what have you, they have somebody that they can go, okay, I'm not alone in this.
Road. What a voice. I cried. But
Any barriers, landmines, limitations.
So many rules.
My choices are mine. Making this easy. People line up for my advice. And you're walking away like I'm stupid. It's like, I've written books. I've given speeches. Line up for my advice. It's like,
why don't we choose more carefully who we're going to lionize?
Why? Marriage, infertility.
How hard it is to live in the White House.
Post this morning alleging that since I said I will prevail.
It also shouldn't be racial. 100
has been overwhelming. The lies in their amplification.
This is not going to end.
He says, but what if he says self-defense?
There's no self-defense because kids in here and resolve this issue is called conflict resolution.
Again, the evidence is still coming in.
This is definitely a self-defense case, because it always is one until you...
Because she's fearful.
Registration Act is
talking about
term, and you will be very...
Once again, the field was littered with Wintour does.
And black people don't want to live around ratchet black.
How bad is his reputation going to be?
It's bad.
I need to connect the dots.
Going to carry a level of weight.
Games and out to dinner with their daughter.